Hello, everybody. It's the Warm back again, and we're here with some more 999. Last time, we had a very incredible piece of information fall into our lap, and we're going to talk about it. Don't you worry about that. But before I do that, I'm going to go back. We're going to retrace our steps for a little bit because I have been informed that apparently there is a scene which is unlocked by going down the route that we have, but it is not shown in the flowchart. So I have retraced my steps. I've gone back to the engine room, escape room. I went through it manually. I mean, this was one of the easier ones, especially if you know what you're doing, so just, didn't take any time at all to just come back here. And lo and behold, I have found it. It is the talk that Santa gives, where he talked about the red and black Santa, I believe. Or was it the red and white Santa? No, it was the white and black Santa, and the red Santa was the product of their confrontation or something, and he was wondering, which Santa am I? It was one of the more peculiar moments of the early game that I played here. And so I just want to thank the person who let me know about this. I would have no idea otherwise. Again, I still don't know what would be proper, internet/YouTube etiquette, so I don't know if it's okay to say your name, but you know who you are, and I am thankful that you've told me, because, as I just said, wouldn't know otherwise. But I definitely want all the information I can get, so this is good to know, good to see. This line that's on the screen was the first new line, so starting from here, we're going to see what Santa has to say, because it looks like he's going to be elaborating on him and his sister, so this should be good. So he said, we didn't have parents. They bought it, in an accident when we were still kids. Okay. Orphans. But it's not like all the kids are orphans. We know that Nona, her sister, her mother, their mother is Lotus, and she's with us. So it's not like all the kids that were taken were vulnerable orphans or something. So, but in this case, it seems that they are. Let's hear his story.
So I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year.
I see. So it wasn't just the association with the number 3. He's also, yes, I see, Santa. It's much more personal for him.
On Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out, and then a few days later it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say.
Huh.
June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound, or didn't care. Santa kept talking.
But one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it. Nothing else. But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look so sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But
What happened?
June glanced up at Santa as quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
She died.
Mm-hmm.
She was killed 9 years ago.
9 years ago. So I think that confirms it, right? I mean, as close as confirmation as we can get without the game just stating it outright. But yes, I do believe Santa's sister was probably the one that Seven recalled dying on the ship. Yes.
Oh.
Was killed too. Not just he did say died, but specifically was killed. Murder, I guess. What I wonder what the specific thing that happened was. There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up to the stairs, taking them two at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired.
Oh, you're finally back.
The door hit shut, but it wasn't... are we back to... Yes, okay, so we're back to, Okay, we're actually... No, stop this.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
Yeah, we're definitely not doing this one again. So, okay. Glad I saw that. It's pretty much just the confirmation I was waiting for. Yes. Okay, good to see that. Now we know for sure. There can be little to no doubt, I believe, at this point. So we're going to go back to where we left off last time and continue from there. Okay. Okay, now, actually, let's do something real quick. We are going to just so I have some sort of background music for this, because this is going to be a conversation that's going to take a little bit, I think. So, I mean, feel free to skip ahead if you want to just get back to gameplay. And it's not like I have a huge spiel, but I want to give my thoughts, and they're a bit jumbled and confused right now. But, okay, the big thing we learned last time that was just so casually left to us by Santa was the revelation that Ace is in fact the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals, which is crazy. And it really throws a lot of my thoughts on what's going on pretty out of whack. So, I was thinking that it was a good possibility that Ace was either Zero or one of the Zeros, because I have another theory that there might be two. But, regardless, yeah, so I thought he could be a Zero. But now that whole theory's kind of been thrown off, I feel. Of course, because the question is, why would the CEO of this company willingly throw himself into basically the experiments that he was in charge of, I'm guessing? Excuse me, because I'm guessing as CEO, he would have been aware and maybe not directly in charge, maybe there were scientists or something, but certainly he had to be aware of everything that was going on, right? As CEO. And now he's back to, he's been thrown into this situation. And so that makes it seem a lot less likely to me that he's... It goes back to the original thought I actually had, that this is some sort of revenge thing. That... I mean, it could be Santa, you know? We now know he would have plenty of motive. I think I talked about it a bit last time. Because I was wondering if Santa, knows about the, man, now every person who was involved 9 years ago has like a motive to do this to Ace. So Lotus has a motive, Seven has a motive, Santa has a motive, Clover and Snake have a motive. Because if they wanted to get revenge on the guy who masterminded the original experiments, then, throw him into the experiments he orchestrated. That's the idea. Of course, then you're also getting a bunch of people, innocent people involved as well. But if it's Santa who's behind all this, if he's Zero, then he's just so cynical and so upset at the world and for what happened to his sister. I could believe he would get innocent people in the crossfire. But yeah, I have just this image now that this is some sort of like whole sick revenge thing that's going on now. Still definitely think it was Ace that killed Lotus in all the different endings. I still think it's Ace that probably... The Snake situation is so strange. Because now we're sure that Snake's not dead. Oh, and here's another thing that's not necessarily related to Ace. So I think I've been confused on the age range of some of these people. I'm just gonna say, in my mind, of the people we have here, Clover seemed the youngest to me, followed by Santa. Then, June and Junpei, we know they're about the same age. And then Snake seemed older than them. So it goes like from teen to 20s to 30s, sort of in that range. Snake looking like he's kind of in the 30s to me, while June and Junpei maybe like late 20s maybe, and Santa maybe mid 20s, and then Clover a teenager still because she has a school uniform. I don't know. It's just I guess what the point of me saying this is because we know now that both Clover and Snake were in the experiments. So when I got confused when they said 16 kids, I was assuming they're all kids, but it seems like the age range might be a lot bigger than I thought. And so that got me thinking to the idea, well, everyone here has to be, or seems to be, connected to what went on 9 years ago. And that made me think about, again, where do June and Junpei line up in this? I mean, plus Junpei, he's at a school, right? Wasn't when he was kidnapped, didn't he have like his own apartment and he was working a day job? Wasn't that the case? So I guess that's also why I thought he was a bit older. He's but he's a 20-something, right? I think that was said at some point. But now I'm wondering, is it a thing like 7 where maybe he just doesn't remember? Because so far we've been given no connection for June or Junpei and what went on 9 years ago. But that just, I can't see that making sense, you know? So I guess the thought is June and Junpei were also members of the 16, but the weird thing is Junpei has memories of seeing it in the news, you know? We saw the newspaper, 16 kids go missing. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. We haven't had any example of Junpei acting like 7, where, you know, 7 will sometimes see something that reminds him and he gets, like, he'll start swaying on his feet, and like Junpei and Junpei hasn't had that, but you know, June has kind of had that happen. She's had her fevers a few times. Do you think that's her remembering things, or is that just her naturally does she have a naturally weak constitution? I guess is my question. Okay. You know, I've been rambling for a while now, and I apologize for that. It's just been, it feels like everything's been thrown out of whack. So I guess to conclude that whole ramble, I think Ace definitely killed Lotus, and he was responsible for whatever he did, whatever happened with Snake. And I think he has the Ninth Man's bracelet. But I don't necessarily think he's Zero. Now I would feel like more like it's someone like 7. No, not 7, excuse me. Santa or something. But then the issue is, like, would he... I don't know how involved as CEO. How involved was he with the project? Like, maybe he gave the orders. But does he know, like, would he be able to recognize the kids 9 years later? Or recognize, like, if he was involved, wouldn't he be able to recognize at least 7? Maybe not the kids, because, you know, kids can change a lot in 9 years. But what about 7? Shouldn't he recognize 7? But of course, if he recognizes him, so what, I guess, is the next question. Like, so what if he recognizes him? It still doesn't change. It doesn't necessarily make sense to reveal everything at that point still. So, I don't know. Okay, let's just keep going. Man, I feel like I've just been talking in circles. 1 second, please. Okay. Had to take a little break for something, but now I'm back. Okay. Yes, let's continue on here. They took the elevator up to C deck. Oh, this is probably all... We could probably just skip this, can't we?
Why?
Okay, so this is... Yes, this is one of the mysteries here. Why did Clover disappear? Presumably she saw the captain, so she probably has the Zero bracelet and perhaps an axe. And because we weren't really with her at all this time... No, we were with her at one point. Excuse me. But were we... No, we didn't. We haven't had the, bookmark Clover conversation, so she may well be in axe murderer mode, which is not good. They just disappeared, right? Okay. Don't know where she is. Ooh, okay, something new. Junpei and June ran to the large hospital room together. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners.
She's not here.
No, she isn't.
All right, just in case, we should go take a look in the shower room.
Shower room?
That's where her brother is. She might have gone to see him.
It's a good assumption. June bit her lip. She knew it was Junpei. Oh, is this where it happens? Is this... This could be... Yes, where he probably notices the left arm, right? Okay, this could be good. She knew, as Junpei did, that there was only one thing in the shower room and it wasn't pleasant.
We might as well check, right? Let's go.
There's a screwdriver stuck between the door and the frame.
Good. We can still get in.
We should thank Seven later.
Junpei and June slipped through the door, moved down the hallway, and stepped into the shower room.
No luck.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
June's voice was faint, and and she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little
The
green.
smell is horrible.
The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. If Junpei had eaten a lunch, he would have had difficulty... I beg your pardon. If Junpei had eaten a lunch, he would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. And the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the divider.
Let's check the back, just to be sure.
June offered no resistance and nodded weakly to Junpei as he headed around the divider. He stopped at the corner and turned his head.
Oh, she's not here.
As he'd expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the other side of the divider was a dead body lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood.
Snake, just where did your sister go?
Junpei whispered to what was once Snake. He'd ask rhetorically, of course, as there was no way he'd get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
Such a horrible way to go. The skull shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted.
Junpei? Junpei.
Huh? Wait.
Hey, there it is. The bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna.
Bones.
That was in brackets here. That's interesting. The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. The accident hurt him really bad.
Of course. Of course. Why didn't I realize it earlier?
Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was a prosthetic. But the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was clearly a real human arm, or at least it had been, once. That meant the corpse...
Jumpy?
June's unsure voice at Junpei's suddenly strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
Oh, sorry for making you wait. Let's go.
Junpei and June headed back toward the large hospital room. They stepped through the door and out of the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when Seven appeared, breathless and yelling.
Junpei! June! Where were you guys?
Searching for Clover. He looked pale and his face was drawn. Oh, wait. Isn't this where we would normally have seen Lotus's dead body? Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath caught in his throat.
Did something happen?
Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air.
Clover is...
Oh, no. They found her this time.
Clover is dead.
Where?
I found her in the first-class bathroom.
First-class bathroom. Now that is very interesting. First-class bathroom. So what's around there? Ninth man's corpse. And then the sealed box that we haven't investigated or know the code for yet. So she went there. Was she trying to get... That would be 4. That definitely doesn't help you get to the end. Was she trying to go there, or was she going for the box, or was she taken there? Or Oh, hello. All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was empty, a muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. I mean, my initial thought is perhaps she tried to kill Santa or something. But it's going to be hard to say without more investigation. Who's wearing these tennis shoes? Pink tennis shoes? June's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and then her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there, frozen in place.
Clover. Why? Why did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's... My first impression is she tried to kill someone and was killed in self-defense, maybe. He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded into his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse. No breath. But she was still warm, and her eyes were closed peacefully. It would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slowly expanding puddle of blood beneath her. So this just happened, just minutes ago, right? He traced its source to her back. A gash just beneath her shoulder blade. A gash, you say? Ah, the knife. This knife, whoever... I'm guessing... Well, if it's a knife... We know from Lotus and from Junpei, who's been killed with a knife several times over by now. I'm thinking it's probably Ace's weapon, so maybe Ace killed Lotus? Or, excuse me, Ace killed? Clover? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover smile.
Clover!
Her innocent smile. Her energy. He would never see her smile again.
No way.
He could have done something. He could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot.
Let's get out of here, June.
Junpei lifted a limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom.
Are you all right?
It was a foolish question, and he knew it.
Yes, I think so.
Her voice was weak. The fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder, and they walked back to the bedroom.
You should get some rest. Here, the bed. Can you sit?
Yes.
She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they drifted into the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back in the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as the slumped figures gathered there.
Who was the first to find the body?
Me.
So, I mean, if we're just going on, suspicion, first to find, there's potential, but I'm doubting it. I don't think it was Seven. Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up.
Why did you come to this room?
To look for Clover. Why else? I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Hey, guys! I found her, but it's bad! She's in the bathroom in the first-class cabin! Come quick! Or something like that. Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me or something, because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right?
Junpei nodded and closed his eyes. There was one more thing he needed to ask.
Seven, there's one more thing I'm worried about.
What?
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right? Why did you do that?
Come on, didn't I already tell you that? I did it so that the door wouldn't lock, so we could come back to this room? Oh, you think I did it?
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
For crying out loud.
Seven sighed and shook his head.
Follow me.
There were 2 doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right.
A closet?
Yep. I mean, this is what if you go back to it, it was a very kind of strange scene, because we walked out of this room and, Seven did his thing where he propped open the door. That's all fine, no problem. But then the game tried to be coy about it. Like, they made it seem like Junpei and Snake had absolutely no idea what Seven could be doing. And then Seven also played coy and said, "Oh, I just want to play the piano." It was kind of silly, but I guess it can make some sense, because technically speaking, you don't have to interact with the safe at all to clear the room. So I guess it is possible there could have been people who completed that escape room and just never saw the safe. And so obviously then I guess it would be somewhat weird if they left the room and then they started talking about, "Oh, I'm leaving the way open back to the safe." And then I guess those people would say, "What safe?" I don't know. It's a bit odd that they chose to do it that way. But in any case, yes, it's the safe. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Seven stepped inside, stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it, and gestured toward a small box. The box was a small metal cube. He looked at Junpei.
This is the reason. This safe.
In brackets.
We couldn't open it when we were getting through this room.
I wonder what that's for. This is the second one in a relatively short period of time where we've seen a word in brackets. I'm sure they've done that before. I don't think I've ever really thought about it.
I figured there might be something pretty important in it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the safe. And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5 again. So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now?
Yeah.
Perfectly reasonable. Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it.
Figured it wouldn't open.
It was as locked as it had been when Seven found it.
Huh?
Did we... Yeah, so we were definitely here in this route. Okay, yeah. There was one change, however.
This is...
Is it unlocked? No. Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish-brown powder.
rust.
Junpei stared at it, considering.
If there's rust here, that means... Has someone opened the safe?
Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back. We'll try opening it. Okay, never mind. Seven followed him back to the bedroom.
Huh?
It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. They sat, frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of there.
Maybe there's another clue. Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover.
As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway. Check if the ninth man's corpse is there. Check it.
Behind this door. The ninth man's body is behind there.
Check it.
Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case.
Do it. Quietly, he pushed open the door.
Ugh.
The smell hit him like a blow to the face.
Oh, the hell? This smell is...
His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale the fetid air. Such fetid air. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there into a violent froth. Ooh. It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile splattered onto the floor. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken... The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. On the floor next to the broken mass with the man's head lay his glasses, cracks spidering across the lenses. I don't see a bracelet. The bloodstains near them had dried like scabs on the floor.
Wait.
That was when he noticed.
It's gone. His bracelet. It's gone.
Okay, so the body is still here. So who in the world is in the bathroom? It's not the captain, it's not the ninth man, and it's not Snake. Huh. Well. What, is it going to be Alice? Is that Alice in there? You'd think they'd be able to distinguish, you know, grown man versus ancient Egyptian woman, but who knows at this point? I don't have any other better guesses. But bracelet being gone, there we go. That's a key to a lot of the things I'm thinking about.
It was right next to the glasses.
But now, it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone.
But why?
That's why, Junpei. That's why. Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice.
Where'd Junpei go?
It had drifted out to him from the living room. Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway.
Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway?
Seven looked up at Junpei. Excuse me. Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room.
Yeah.
Did you find something?
No, he didn't find something, and that's the issue. He thought for a moment before he responded.
No, nothing.
Not bringing it up. Keeping that in his back pocket, I guess? Okay. Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything yet. In a way, in fact, that was the yeah, that's what it just said. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The ninth man's bracelet.
What's up? Well, I wanted you to take a look at something.
What is it?
Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom.
Clover.
As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip, and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips.
What was it you wanted to show me?
His voice was hollow and empty.
I searched Clover's body again. A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or something.
Okay, that makes me really think it was Ace, because I'm thinking Ace has been the one who's killed Lotus and Junpei and all those other endings, so I think he's our knife man. So...
And I found this.
As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
What?
A note. Or I assume it's a note. She was holding a piece of paper.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
What?
He wasn't sure what that meant, but it likely didn't matter. The paper was more important.
I'm opening it.
Wait, what? I haven't looked at it yet, didn't want to disturb the scene, but basically, but I did borrow one thing. Is it the Zero bracelet? He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were 2 sentences written on it. Is this what she mentioned in the hallway that one time?
Truth had gone, and truth had gone.
Yes, it is. Truth had gone, and truth had gone, and now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
What is this? Some kind of secret code?
Someone peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note.
A code.
Sinister hand. Hey, so it was like I said. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was the only thing I could think of at the time when she said that, so.
Sinister was a term used in heraldry that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms. The left hand. The left hand. What does the left hand mean?
Junpei looked at his own left arm. It's where the bracelets are, yeah? At the bracelet on his wrist.
Does the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet?
He examined the bracelet closely.
There's 2 things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth gone.
How about reading them backwards? Gone had truth, and gone had truth, gone had truth. I don't know about that. Don't know what switching the sentence around mean. Reading aloud. Truth had gone, and truth had gone. I'm gonna go with 3, just because I'm less sure about these three, and I'm not sure about this one.
What else could gone and truth mean? Truth, of course, means something that is correct, something that's fact. In other words, something that is right.
Oh, okay.
You could then safely assume that gone means left. After all, after someone left, they were gone.
Is this the, is this meant to be the code of the lockbox then? So, left, right, left, right, left, right.
But in this case, they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. Then truth equals right, and gone equals left.
Jimmy looked at the bracelet again.
The left and right of the bracelet. These two things sticking out. So if I...
Truth, gone, truth, gone, truth, gone. And then... Whoa. One after another, 8 numbers flashed on and off, and then on the face of Junpei's
Wait,
bracelet.
did it just...
You check one more time to be sure.
One, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Well, I'm sure, to anyone watching this, I'm sure you're aware I'm not a math guy. So, if there's something obvious about this, it's not popping out to me. Of course it wouldn't show. 143833421. Oh, dang it. 143. Is that it? Yeah. It doesn't equal 9. I don't know.
Hey, what are those numbers?
I mean, I need to look at the, on the lockbox, I need to look at the thing. Is that how they're numbered on the, what is it called? You know, the lock on the lockbox? Jimmy didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Jinbei headed toward the bedroom.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that. Yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking. Required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he'd discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? How did she know about it? She didn't go with us, did she? No, she didn't. Jinbei slowly dialed the numbers in the bracelet had given him.
1 to the right, 4 to
Yeah,
the left.
okay, that makes sense, yeah.
And... Oh,
Finished.
bingo. I knew it was for this.
Small telltale sign of a lock open. Was this on the captain? Because I think that's where... That must have been where Clover found it, right? On the captain? He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up.
Oh, is this some sort of note?
It looks like it. It also looks like it's in... What is it, Japanese? Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding.
Let's see.
Junpei picked it up. This is what it said. Fact 1. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, let's read this, and then I think we'll be finished for the day. Only once before. Okay, good to know. We know that. We know that. Snake, yep. It was planned by the original one, right? The original game? Okay. So yes, that what I thought. Yep. Okay. Pardon my attempts at pronunciation. Would it be Gentaro? Gentaro Hongo? So that's Ace. Nagisa Nijisaki. Now, do not show me, like Cradle Pharmaceuticals cybersecurity officer or something. Is that Santa? We know he has stocks in Cradle Pharmaceuticals. So we know who this is. I'm guessing this could be Santa. We know that... Sorry. Just looking at the notes real quick. Lotus's name is Kashiwabara, so it's not these two. Let's write down... Again, I guess it's either Gentaro or Gen. I would assume Gen more than... Because Gen would be like a Western way to want to say that. Gentaro Hongo? Hongo? Now this is... Now... But it may not be Santa, because we know he was in it. He was one of the people he was one of the kids, right? And his sister was in it and got killed, right? So you wouldn't think. Plus, wouldn't they know each other if that was the case? So now I'm less certain this is Santa, but that's the only connection I know. Tadawaki Kubota Nagisa Nijisaki. I wonder if the Ninth Man is one of these people. I could believe the Ninth Man is one of them, considering how freaked out he was. He must have known exactly what was going on. It was planned. So these are the top dudes here. I also don't know Japanese enough to know, that there are more male names, female names, and then there's some that could be either. I don't know if, like, these are obvious, oh, this is a guy, or this is a girl. I don't know enough to know if this is indicating something like that, so, Okay, what else is there? I must punish this. There we go. It's all revenge. It's a revenge thing. The only problem is, like, it's not just the 4 of them here. We've got 9 people here. So, are 4 of us the planners of the 9 we have here? Was the captain one of the 4? Ah, man. This is the only warning they will receive. Innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. 0. It's 0, so yes. So presumably, 0 is one of the kids, or related to one of the kids. Maybe Santa. Maybe it's Santa, and he's probably behind all this or something. Or it could be the wild card thing where there's 2 zeros, but, you know, I don't know that yet. Junpei left the closet. You know what? Okay, how long have I been going? I do actually have to stop now. I am running up on the amount of time I have. Okay, yeah, we're ending that. Lot to consider. Oh boy. Okay. I'm just gonna have to go through that series of events again before starting next time. In any case, hope you're all doing very well, and I hope to see you next time for some more 999. I've been the Worm, and have a good one.